Hey guys, what is up? It is the Fast Break Report here, bringing you guys another vlog, and well, we got some news about Joel Embiid, and I kind of want to talk about it and like how it affects the Pacers and stuff like that in this because, well, this changes the playoffs quite a bit. I actually thought Joel Embiid was gonna be done for the entire season. Like, I did not expect him to come back before the playoffs, but Philadelphia 76ers head coach Nick Nurse did say that there is a very strong likelihood that he is back before the end of the season, which is April 14th. I'm looking at the standings right now. Boston is number 1, Milwaukee's number 2, Cleveland is number 3, New York, the Knicks are number 4, the Orlando Magic are number 5, Indiana Pacers are number 6, Miami is number 7, and Philadelphia is number 8. Now, I am going to say this, okay? I don't know what the Pacers' deal is where they, for whatever reason, can't beat the shitty teams. Like, they can't beat Chicago, who's 35 and 39, but we can beat the Lakers, who are 41 and 33. I don't understand how all of that works, but for whatever reason, like, I was shocked we beat the Lakers, actually, because the last time we played, they shot 43 free throws, so I was kind of assuming that, you know, we were going to be in for the same exact thing, but it didn't happen. We actually ended up winning that game. There were some calls that I thought were very controversial in the Lakers game, but against Chicago, once again, we could not stop DeMar DeRozan. You know, it's just, for whatever reason, like, it's funny because when I brought up a long time ago about the Pacers trading for DeMar DeRozan, everyone's like, oh, he's washed, he's old, he can't play anymore. Well, I mean, he's 34 years old, but he's still balling, apparently. He's set to be an unrestricted free agent this offseason, if I'm correct. So the thing is, though, now that Joel Embiid is coming back, like, it's sounding like he's going to be available for the playoffs, Indiana is, I'm going to be honest, boys, we're going to have to really hope that we end up playing Orlando. I'm just curious. NBA playoffs, 6 seed plays who? So in the NBA playoffs, if I'm correct, I'm not sure who plays what, but I'm pretty positive. 2nd seed and 3rd place in the East, the Knicks. I'm just curious because NBA standings playoff picture. Here we go. Matchup against the Nuggets. So right now the Pacers in the East. Okay, if let's say if the regular season ended today, the Pacers would end up playing the Cavaliers, which I actually kind of like that matchup. So if the playoffs started today in the East, the Celtics would be playing a combination of either the Heat, the Sixers, Bulls, or the Hawks. The Bucks would end up playing the Heat or the Sixers of that. And right now, the Cavaliers would be playing the Pacers, and the Knicks would be playing the Orlando Magic. To be honest with you, boys, I don't think we have much incentive to move up. I'm just going to call it what it is. I understand that we need to win some games, you know, to stay where we are. But honestly, our best chance seems like it's going to come against the Cavaliers. If Joel Embiid is coming back for the Philadelphia 76ers, they're not necessarily a team I want to see. The Knicks are playing Orlando. I think the Knicks, if it were to start today, I think the Knicks can beat Orlando. I really don't want to play the Knicks. Like, I know that's kind of going to be a controversial statement, and I know there's going to be Pacers fans that are like, oh, but they're our rival. Yes, but they're significant. They have more scoring power than we do, it seems. Or, you know, they've got more capable players. You know, we have TJ McConnell. We have Andrew Nembhard, who's been playing a lot better since I made that video. Part of me thinks Andrew Nembhard saw the Andrew Nembhard is trash video and took it personally. And he's been playing a whole lot better ever since. So, you know, I don't know. Maybe sometimes I need to make videos like that in order to, you know, maybe change the, you know, jinx it or something like that and just be like, you know, say some stupid shit like Tyrese Halliburton is trash and then he goes on a fucking tear afterwards. Seems like it happens with Rusty Buckets all the time, too. He says, like, Julius Randle's trash and then Julius Randle goes on a fucking tear. But the fact of the matter is, like, the playoffs are going to be very interesting. I see a lot of people talking about TJ McConnell and, you know, how, like, you know, this has been a narrative for the past 2 or 3 years that TJ McConnell's size is a problem. He's only a 6-foot guard. And while I would agree with you, I think TJ McConnell is going to be perfectly fine in the playoffs. And the reason I say that is because one of the biggest gripes about TJ McConnell is that he wasn't a good one-on-one defender and that he couldn't shoot the three-pointer. Well, he can shoot the three-pointer, okay? This year he's shooting it at 36%. Last year he shot it at 44%. So I think the narrative that TJ McConnell can't shoot threes should at least be dying down to some extent. The thing that I think is going to affect us the most is the idea that we are simply not going to have Benedict Mathurin, which is shitty in itself, which is a huge loss for this team. But I also think this team is incredibly young. You're looking at a team that, you know, this is Tyrese Halliburton's first winning season. I don't know how he's going to play in the playoffs. I actually, to be honest with you, I almost kind of expect us to lose in the first round. And I know that's going to be an unpopular opinion, and people are not going to like that I said that. But it's just the idea this team is incredibly young, and almost none of these guys have a bunch of playoff experience. I mean, Pascal Siakam does, but Tyrese Halliburton doesn't. You know, Andrew Nembhard doesn't. TJ McConnell, I think, was on those Sixers teams, a couple of them that went to the playoffs, but, you know, Isaiah Jackson doesn't have any. Jalen Smith, I mean, he was on the roster when Phoenix went to the finals, I think, but I don't remember him playing a whole lot. So it's like, yeah, you got experience, but how much do you really have? So it's just the idea, like, Miles Turner has playoff experience, but in all, we're one of the youngest teams in the league. I don't know if people really fully understand that, but we're one of the youngest teams in the league, and I'm not really, like, super confident that we're going to do anything super crazy in the playoffs. Miami is a team that's a threat. You know, like, all these teams just have so much more, like, punching power than we do, outside of maybe Orlando. Like, Orlando's a team that, yeah, they have Paolo Banchero, they have Franz Wagner, they have Jalen Suggs, they're really, really good defensively, but honestly, like, the team that, like, is most comparable to us is Orlando, only we're the offensive version of Orlando, and Orlando's the defensive version of us. You know, like, we're both two teams that are really not great on paper, but we're really good at offense, and they're really good at defense. So, I don't know, man. I don't really know what to expect. I do think, like, the playoff experience is good. I don't think people should have aspirations of the second round. You know, like, if we get to the second round, great. But I think, you know, we're all slowly starting to come back to earth. I mean, I honestly think the Pacers are maybe going to be a 45-win team. And I think that's about where I had them in the beginning of the year. 40, you know, maybe 47, 50 if you're feeling, you know, really, really good about it. But our next, let's see, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We got 7 games left. And we play Brooklyn back-to-back here on April 1st and April 3rd. Then we got Oklahoma City, Miami, Toronto, Cleveland, and Atlanta. I think we're going to split the Brooklyn games. So we'll split Brooklyn. We'll probably beat Oklahoma City, probably lose to Miami, probably lose to Toronto, probably lose to Cleveland, and then beat Atlanta. I'm going to be honest, so let's see, 1, 2, 3 wins out of our next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games. So figure we're going to be, let's see, we got 7 left. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. So we're going to be 45 and 37, 45 and 37. Looks like what our final record could be. I'm going to assume that's what it's going to be, 45-win team. 47 wins is really, really generous at the moment. But I think 45 wins. I think I had us in that ballpark at the beginning of the season, like 45, 47-win team. And like 50 was like if we're playing out of our fucking mind. It should have been 50, or like in the ballpark of 47 if we just didn't like fucking choke against all the shitty teams in the league. But I'm going to be honest, boys, the team is really young. And I feel like if we're going to go against teams like, you know, Philadelphia, Miami, all these teams going into the future, we're really going to need to either develop Benedict Mathurin or get a third star. This team is good, but it's not great. And that's the problem with the whole thing. It's like we're really good at offense. We're okay on defense. But if we really want to make a serious playoff run, I think we're going to need a third star. Now, whether that's Benedict Mathurin, OG Anunoby, or Paul George, I don't know who it is. But I feel like in the offseason, this team's really going to try hard to get themselves a third star, even if it's DeMar DeRozan. Like, I've been preaching this for how long now, and people are like, DeMar DeRozan wouldn't fit. DeMar DeRozan would fit. I was letting you know, DeMar DeRozan would fit. With this fucking squad, yes, DeMar DeRozan would fit. You just need a guy who's going to go out there and hit clutch shots for you, a guy who's going to go out there and maybe get you a solid 22 to 24 points per game. I think DeMar DeRozan could do that. And honestly, Ben Mathurin could do that. But the thing is, I feel like Ben Mathurin maybe needs another year or so till we really see what he's going to become. And having DeMar DeRozan as a teammate, I think would benefit him a lot. I even think having somebody like Paul George would benefit Ben Mathurin a lot. But I don't know, man. I don't know what it's going to bring, but the playoff picture is looking kind of bleak for us. I hate to say that, but I'm not as confident on this team as I was before. Now that Joel Embiid's coming back and, we're pretty much significantly kind of outmanned compared to every other team. Like, yes, we have the best bench unit in the league, but we're losing some big names this offseason. We're going to be losing Jalen Smith. Like, I'm anticipating that at this point. We're losing Jalen Smith. We could even lose Obi Toppin. If somebody gives Obi Toppin a whole hell of a lot more money than we're willing to pay him, we could even lose Obi Toppin. So, we are going to have Isaiah Jackson back, but it's just the idea, man. During this offseason, we're really going to have to try to put a solidified team together. Like Siakam is going to have to get paid. Like, I think we all realize that. But they're going to need to find another guy in free agency that we can bring in that's really going to put this team maybe another step forward. Everyone keeps talking about OG Anunoby, like the Knicks could potentially, like I brought this up in the Discord last night, that if the Knicks are like a top 3 seed in the East, it's very possible that they could shell out some money to get themselves Paul George. Philadelphia is another team that could land Paul George, or OG Anunoby, or DeMar DeRozan. So it's just the idea, like you really have to... If you're the Indiana Pacers, you either got to make a trade for somebody this offseason if you want to be taken seriously, or shell out some money for another star and find that cap space somewhere. I don't know where it's going to be, but Miles is also going to be on an expiring deal this upcoming season, and so is TJ McConnell. So just as fast as we're building it, it could fall down as well. Like, I just want people to understand that. Like, if we're going to make a run at anything, it's got to be this upcoming season. So... I don't know, man. I'm not super confident in the playoffs. I haven't seen enough out of this team that really convinces me that we're going to make it to the second round. Maybe we do. If we do, great. I think in a way that's overachieving for what I actually expected. As the season went on, I think we all kind of saw like this team is still not perfect. But... who knows? You never know. I mean, Tyrese Haliburton has his nights where he plays great and then has his nights where he plays like crap. But, the team has been playing better as of late, so I don't know. I don't know what to think. Cleveland is a team that's very up or down, so we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see what the playoffs brings, but at this point, I think we're going to be like a 45-37 team to finish the season. We haven't had good luck against Toronto. The Brooklyn Nets games, I think we're going to split. I think we could maybe beat OKC, but we're going to lose to a team like Miami because that's just the way that we operate. And we'll lose to Cleveland, but we'll end up beating Atlanta. It's a fucking clusterfuck. I'm going to call it what it is. So tell me what you guys think about this down below in the comment section below. Like helps me out. Subscribe if you guys want to see more on the Fast Break Report. And I'm out of this motherfucker. Peace, guys.